Hello guys, Michelle Gatting here. I'm together with Daniil and Franck, the Iron Lynxes, and we are going to talk a little bit about mental awareness and what role it plays in our sport.
Well, I think it's very important for sure to be aware about the mental health in many different areas of life. Let's take us for instance, the sport environment is very, of course, competitive environment where there can be a lot of pressure, there can be a lot of traveling, staying away from home quite a lot, so it's important to manage your mental health in the right way, and also the mental energy. And I think through my career I experimented a lot with it, maybe a bit less when I was young, maybe a bit more through my later Formula 1 years. You come to realize more about what works better for you, what works less, what do you need. I like to go, for example, on a long hike in the mountains with a nice fresh air when I need to recharge my mental, let's call them like this, mental batteries, right? Like this is what I came to do to recharge my batteries. What about you?
Because I'm a little bit older than you guys, so especially you.
You always say that,
I always say
because it's the truth. 10 years, more than you guys, it's 10 years. For sure, you take the experience from before, you try to change things that were bad when you're younger or not. And for me, I'm someone that, same like he said, hiking, things like this, be close to the nature, because I think we do a sport that it's quite special, quite different than the other, and to have also a different life than what we are doing here, because I think we have to be lucky from what we do. We are passionate, and we do something also very expensive, and it's not only sport. I think sometimes some driver, they do only training, but in the end, I don't think the result comes. The mental is the fuel.
I think most races are won like by mental strength. Different to Danny and Franck, I worked a lot with mental coaches since I was very young. I always struggled a lot with self-doubt, not believing enough in myself, and which I think a lot of even the best of the best athletes at one point in their career, they have doubted themselves. I still do. I don't think there is any let's say weakness in the fact that you work with mental coaches or psychologists. I think it's a strong point to be aware of the fact that you have some weak points that I believe everybody has, every driver has, and just be aware about it and be open about it. That's what's nice, and that's why I also think at least on the girls' side, between the Iron Dames, we are a good group. We know each other very well. Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days. Be open about it. I let most of the stuff out mainly to Sarah, so she's the one who has to suffer a lot. Sometimes she does the same to me, but in the end of the day, at least you got it out, and then you can move on and look forward. And then fitness, I think like the fitness is the strength. I also think it's plays a big role that you're fit in the car. I think the fitter you are, that's a personal point of view, the better you also perform, because in the end of the day, we sit a long time in the car, we have to be concentrated. And one good memory I have from go-kart, because I raced quite a bit against Danny in go-kart. My dad still reminds me of it, even the day to day, that the reason why Danny went to Formula 1 and not me was because he saw Danny doing push-ups outside on the ground before he had to go in the go-kart, and he was always warming up. And I was not doing that when I was in go-kart, to be honest. I went in the go-kart and then I drove. But Danny, he was always warming up with the shipping thing and push-ups. And my dad, he still says, yeah, that was the difference between you and Kvyat.
Well,
Yeah.
just to make you feel better, sometimes I overdid it.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, there was times in my careers where I had to get away from there, There was times when I went a bit too much training, and maybe I was coming to the race actually a bit burned out.
Yeah.
And now I still struggle to this day to say to myself, okay, your body doesn't need it anymore, just instead take a day to chill.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's fine.
Everything plays a role being behind the steering wheel in the race car. Mental health, physical health. The better you are in both things, I think the better you can be as a driver.